Did you know that you can create and customize your own keyboard shortcuts? By pressing Option and K on your keyboard, you're gonna summon the power of the key command assignments window. In here, you can simply type down record, for example, showing you all of the key commands that are related to that word that you type down, alongside the key that is used to trigger those particular actions. The best part is that you can create and change any of those parameters and any of those key commands shortcuts by your own, for your own, and based on your workflow. So that's the first one. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Logic Pro has plenty of functions that are hidden behind key commands, and in this video I'm gonna be sharing with you some of the ones that I use on a daily basis whenever I'm recording, producing, or mixing. So let's continue. Here we go. So let's begin. As I showed you in the first example, you can customize and create your own key commands. And as you can imagine, I have already gone to town with that particular aspect of Logic, but don't worry, because all of those functions will be labeled correctly so you can create your own custom key commands or use the default settings as well. So let's get into this. Okay, the next one is gonna be the use of the cycle function. Cycle is basically speaking, we're gonna create a looping region for the project to play back and forth. Easy to understand, but let's say that you wanna create a sample, or sorry, a looping region over this section. So let's say that I selected this area over here of my track using the marquee tool, and then I'm gonna click on my surface over here, the region cycle. The UF8 by SSL is a very powerful and multi-purpose control surface, and as you saw in the example, I use it to trigger a key command. You're gonna see me using this bad boy across the entirety of this video because I am using it as a macro pad. Basically speaking, it's acting as a replacement for my keyboard, since I already programmed a good chunk of key commands to it. The next one is gonna be summoning the global area of your track. Just by pressing G on your keyboard, you're gonna bring this gigantic menu over here. And this is very important, especially if you're using, for example, the chord function, which is the one that allows you to control the session players in Logic. But also if you're playing a progressive rock music, because in here you can create tempo changes and also time signature changes. Super cool and awesome. But here's the big one. Let's say that you want to create a marker. Easy. Let's say that I'm going to create a marker over here. Just by clicking here, I got the first marker. Then let me move my cursor somewhere else. And then I'm going to create another marker. Here's the next function for you. Let's say that I want to create a cycle over that marker. If I go over here once again to my console and I press this button, marker cycle, look at that. Now the cycle is created in between the boundaries of the marker itself. Awesome, especially when mixing. Did you know that you can hide channels in Logic? Let me show you. Over here, if I press H, this will trigger the key command that hides or brings forward the channels that are hidden. You can see that all of these tracks over here have an H by the side of their icon. That means that those are hidden, the ones that have the green one. But if I press H again, that particular button disappears alongside the channels that are hidden. But here's the catch. My voice, as you can tell over here, it's actually a hidden track. So that means that even though the track itself is hidden, it's still active and present in the mix. And as a bonus, let me show you this guy over here. This is a free plugin, which is called Midi. And this is fantastic because, as you can see, it's reacting to my voice coming in. But as soon as I press play, see what happens. Yes, I was speaking the whole time. But this plugin, what it does is muting automatically wherever sound is coming in as soon as I press play. And it's free. So you can see how useful this could be in a recording setting alongside the hide function. Speaking of recording, let's say that you're already cutting some records and you're recording a particular track and all of a sudden something goes wrong. Let's say that the performer effed it up, and the traditional method will be something similar to this. I'm gonna be recording my voice and see what happens. Normally speaking, I would stop the track over there, let's say delete the track, and bring back the cursor over to the point in which I want the recording to happen. But what if I tell you that there is a key command that does all of that automatically? Let me show you. I'm gonna give you once again another example. Bam! automatically brings back the cursor to the starting point and also deletes the track. Awesome, because that way you don't lose your train of thought. Did you know that Logic is similar to a 3-letters agency because it's tracking every move you do, even though you might not be aware of that happening? Let me show you. This is known as Flashback. Let's say that I'm gonna be speaking on top of my track. I'm gonna press play and see what happens. Okay, nothing happened, right? But let me show you this. I'm gonna click on my flashback button. And look at that! Something actually got recorded. I wonder what that is. I'm gonna simply, select the track and press play. Let's see. Right now I'm tracking, even though, as you can see, the software is not recording my voice coming in. It worked!
Of course!
Yeah, that's called Flashback. And actually that works with audio and MIDI. Okay, sticking to the whole concept and notion of recording, let's say that you want to track an idea that is right now in your head without thinking of any form of tempo or anything related to that. So let me show you how to do it without being bothered by tempo. Over here, you got access to a function called free tempo recording. Let me show you how it works. Look at that! Now Logic created or added the tempo to my track and even a time signature. Of course, that's a spoken word, so it's not necessarily speaking musical, but now you can see how powerful that is, especially when you are songwriting. But how about you already have an idea that you recorded, let's say, on your phone, and you want to detect the tempo of that particular recording? Let me introduce you to tempo detection on Logic. I'm going to select this particular region over here that I recorded previously, and then I'm going to summon the power of the tempo detection software. As you can see, now Logic is trying to find the perfect tempo or the one that is the closest to the recording that you analyzed. And it gives you several different options and even explains itself why it decided to present this tempo to you. And since I tracked this guitar to the tempo of the track, you can see that we got 103.9793, while the tempo was 104. So it's basically just my swing. It's very precise, as you can see. Now, if you are one of those guys who are working with the session players, this is gonna be very special for you. Let's say that you want to modify something on the session player or the performance itself. You think that is very good, but you would like to add, I don't know, remove some of the kick drums in the case of the drums. There's a way to do it by transforming the session player region to a MIDI region, and there is a button for it. Let me show you. By pressing that key command, I transformed the session player region to a MIDI region, allowing me to control now every aspect of the performance as if I were dealing with a MIDI performance. This is just a scratch in the surface because there are plenty of more functions that can be accessed through the use of key commands. If you want a second part to this video, please let me know in the comment section down below. As usual, thank you for joining, thank you for watching, and as with every time that I meet you, I gotta remind you that you should never let anybody tell you what to dream about, and remember that I'll see you when I see you.